50 Cent has returned to the spotlight, this time over an allegation that didn't make it into the final version of his Netflix documentary about Diddy. According to 50, there was far more material than could fit into 4 episodes, which meant some claims had to be cut. One of those reportedly centered on Diddy, allegedly fathering a child with a woman who once dated Tupac Shakur. Due to time limitations, that claim was left out, but 50 has suggested he might release the unreleased footage on YouTube instead of waiting for a second season. Since the documentary's release, 50 says additional sources have reached out with new information. That sparked speculation about what's truly driving him to continue calling out Diddy. Insiders suggest the real motive may be more personal than people realize. Comedian TK Kirkland recently shared his perspective, arguing that many critics are missing an important detail. While some believe 50 is simply chasing attention or holding a grudge, TK says the issue runs deeper. According to TK, things became personal when Diddy allegedly got involved with the mother of 50 Cent's child, a move he believes shifted the dynamic entirely.
Out of all the women in the world that Diddy could have gotten with, he chose 50 Cent's baby mother.
It's a lot of variables to this particular question. Because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect, I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not aware of it. If you know it, then it's wrong.
He said taking a step like that shows clear disrespect. TK explained that he has never knowingly dated a woman who had previously been involved with one of his friends, because to him, that's simply a line you don't cross. He also pointed out that Diddy has never lacked choices. With his fame, wealth, and global reach, he has access to countless options. For that reason, TK doesn't believe getting involved with the mother of 50's child was accidental or harmless. Considering the history of tension between the two men, he sees it as a deliberate and calculated decision.
But he went after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out.
Slutted her out.
Just slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
Totally
and
did. I
just
totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then Eric Serm, his friend, the one that had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you're just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no. There's no way I would go after Vlad's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
I'm so loyal that if I met a woman and she said, oh yeah, I used to date Vlad, I can't with you, baby.
Right.
I won't even put my, excuse my language, because that's how I move. Other people don't move like that, but you see me in Paris, you see me all over the world. Why would I want to do that to mess up a relationship?
While 50 Cent's documentary has generated significant attention and praise, not everyone views it as an outright success. Gene Deal has come forward with serious allegations, claiming that parts of the project were not original and that his input was used without proper recognition or
I seen an interview about, he said that he had a lot of footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary, and they could have had 45 minutes, they could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She can say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. If you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D. Big World 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on. You understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie. You understand? And they said something about, we got this from Big Sexy.
He also responded to speculation that 50 could drop more material online down the line. Gene said that if extra footage is released, he doesn't believe Diddy would be able to block it. According to him, if the documentary were going to be stopped, it would have been halted already. He added that this situation reveals a great deal about whether Diddy still holds real power behind the scenes or if that influence has faded.
That documentary, and if 50 do another one, and I heard he's going to put it on YouTube or do whatever he's going to do, Puff ain't going to have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't going to have nothing to do to try to stop that because he can't. Because if he could stop it, it would have been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still worked for them, but he was part of the Flavor Unit, Shakim. He was part of the Flavor Unit. He was good friends. He was cool with Puff and them. Flavor Unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent a cease and desist over there and they could do it and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no more. You understand? Now, could he sue them because they used his likeness or used them and stuff like that? I don't know. I'm not that versed in they using him. You understand? If they can steal your whole damn idea, your whole damn ideal, why can't they steal your whole damn intellectual property? That's what they do.
Gene also commented that Diddy reportedly had an unusual fixation on Tupac, which seemed to shape almost every part of his life.
I did see the interview that 50 did with Sherry, and he was talking about he didn't release the video about Puff having a kid by Kim Porter's friend, Sarah Chapman. Now, we all know that she used to date Tupac. You understand? So either he got her because he wanted some remnants of Tupac. We don't know. But it seemed like every dude that he had some kind of disdain, dislike, or that he idolized in a sense, he wanted their girl. Or he wanted to be a part of their girl. I don't know why. Yo, bro, this dude was, I don't know if he was in love or in hate for Tupac. He wanted to be an actor. He auditioned for, I think he auditioned for Juice. But Pac beat him out for that Bishop thing. You understand what I'm saying? He wanted to be a part of that. Just go, and not so many years ago, when Puff started getting into that drugs and started using drug stuff, he started revamping some of Tupac's speeches. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the Grammy speech he did. Go look at a couple of speeches he did. It was the same exact words Tupac had said. That he was gonna start this whole revolutionary of our people. That's Tupac. Black Lives Matter, the Black Liberation Movement, that was Pac. The Black Liberation Movement. Black Lives Matter? Come on, bro. This dude, everybody know that he had some kind of, I don't want to say disdain taste, but he had some kind of, I don't, jealousy of Tupac, bro. He had this jealousy of Tupac.
Even so, the documentary doesn't appear to tell the whole story. A number of viewers pointed out how briefly it addressed Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children. Kim passed away in 2018 at the age of 47. While her death was officially ruled as pneumonia, some have raised questions and speculated about possible involvement. Given how significant she was in his life for many years, many felt her story deserved more attention.
Now, do you think that Diddy Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Noor talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cane at the Kit Kat Club.
She had a front row seat to his private life, his business moves, and what allegedly happened behind closed doors. Despite that, the documentary barely touched on her role. Several sources claim her story was intentionally left out, possibly because it was considered too delicate or controversial to explore. Gene said he knew Kim personally and sometimes looked out for her. In his view, she was aware of many significant details.
It was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how you look at your girl and knowing that she and another dude, what kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you, and got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She was gonna expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them. And I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there. And I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there, especially A-listed groups from Atlanta.
None of those details were included in the documentary. Instead, viewers were shown only a handful of photos of Kim and a quick acknowledgement that she was the mother of Diddy's children before the narrative shifted elsewhere. Given the significant role she played in his life, Many felt the limited coverage raised more questions than answers. Mark Curry also described a troubling episode involving Kim Porter and Diddy. He claimed that Diddy kept tabs on her private conversations and reacted angrily when he heard something he didn't approve of. Mark recalled an instance when Diddy allegedly became furious after discovering Kim had spoken on the phone with producer Shakir Stewart. According to Mark, Diddy later approached Shakir at a party and struck him with a chair.
It was the other day they just did a whole thing with the girl that he was dating was the one that was putting the wiretaps and all of that out. It was a clear case. She came, hey, I was the one who was doing the wiretaping and all of this, right? The tapping. So I knew about this before she came out and said that she was the one that was doing it. I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversations. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakir Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakir Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair. You don't think if he hit a man with a chair for dating this girl, you know, they gonna have a fight at home too. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, they say he busts her nose up on the boat. And have you ever been to Sandro Pay's see a brother play a mandolay? Remember that was in his song? I need a good woman next to me. So then it happened in what was it, Sandro Pay? Like that island. And then he bust her nose. They tried to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist. Yeah, but that's what happens when you put your hands on females. I don't really have much respect for a man who's physically abusive towards women, man. I kind of think they be kind of suspect. I'd be like, man, you know, girls fight girls.
Some believe this reflects Diddy's overall pattern of behavior. Another noticeable point was the way the documentary handled his well-known parties. For decades, those gatherings were said to draw powerful figures from across industries, celebrities, athletes, and other high-profile personalities. However, the film offers little insight into that world. There are hardly any big names mentioned and very few specific accounts shared. That absence stands out, especially since many prominent figures were once openly associated with Diddy but now appear to be keeping quiet.
So what are your thoughts on all his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and you know,
Liars.
They were saying, yeah, should they speak up now?
It's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Off of Justin Bieber alone.
Jaguar Wright argues that too much attention is placed on the music industry and not enough on what Diddy may have gone through growing up before fame. She believes the real story of how he became the man he is starts at home. According to her, as a child, Diddy likely witnessed his mother being preoccupied with her own life, with a steady stream of people coming in and out of the house. Jaguar pointed out that the constant presence of strangers could have a lasting effect on a young child, and she suggests that these early experiences may have shaped or even harmed him long before the music industry played any role.
Early on, long before the industry ever got involved.
God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, you know, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say,
for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
Jaguar noted that Diddy has expressed pride in his father's reputation as a hustler, and she believes that response says a great deal about his character.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was like a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler. That's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my dad was. So I'm sure for him, it made him feel good because all of that stuff that he was watching, he really came from that. But that was really his legacy. And yeah, I'm sure for him it felt good to know that his dad was this big hustler who turned out to be a snitch, who got his brains removed from his head in a very, very, very unpleasant manner.
She connects that mindset to the way hip-hop culture later glorified similar figures. Many rap names and personas were inspired by movie characters that represented power, fear, and respect. Jaguar believes Diddy didn't merely admire that image, he related to it, as it reflected the world he grew up in. She also spoke about Diddy's relationship with his mother, describing it as unusual and unsettling for a particularly disturbing reason.
For the situation where they say he was trying to shape Misa into his mother, can you see that? Like,
yeah, with the blonde hair and yeah, and all of that. I mean, somebody
really
asked a question: what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom, the same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth, the same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor and while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh damn, I ain't seen that one. Oh.
You never seen the Instagram video where he was talking about how his mom is still young and spry and how she still liked the party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh. Damn.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video when he was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms.
No.
It's a very, very, very weird relationship.
The most concerning aspect is that this pattern appears to have come full circle, with Diddy allegedly maintaining a highly questionable relationship with his own children. Jaguar notes that several sources have claimed his children were placed in situations they should never have been exposed to. She questioned what kind of parenting permits that, and why so many adults chose to stay silent.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it kind of goes into, I mean, he seems to be having, and again, I know the freak offs that his son is there. Like, it seems like he likes to get down with his kids.
Yeah. But that wasn't all. Just to hear Little Rod say, like, the boys were around. Roger Bonds talked about the children as well. What kind of parenting relationship is that? But then again, that goes back to the conversation of Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter. It was all known that she was spotted in them streets with Justin, and then she was spotted in them streets with Diddy, and they all tried to sit there and pretend like that wasn't what it was. Like, I don't know if anybody has not noticed, but ever since Diddy got pinched, they've all been trying to pretend like all of the stuff that we've seen that happened, that they was all involved in, didn't happen. If Lori Harvey was hanging out, which, and it's kind of weird, like the whole relationship with Justin looks weird. He looks like Mini-Me with Dr. Evil. It's weird. Like, why are there people? Why is there sexual behavior going on? And why are people naked in front of their kids, G? Doing all kinds of stuff. And meanwhile, Misa's running around making comments about how she don't like the way that Eric Sermon was depicting her in the documentary. You don't like the way you're being talked about in the documentary. You don't like the fact that, because see, it wasn't Gene Deal, because Gene Deal said he wasn't there, and thank God that he was able to admit that. Kirk Burroughs did say that he was there and present when Diddy was beating the brakes off Misa and putting the feet to her up underneath the car well.
What other claims or revelations do you think might surface in the next round of footage 50 Cent is expected to release? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.